What's good? This is Trey, and in this video, we're going to talk about what separates those who achieve their goals and those who don't achieve their goals, right? What are some traits? What are some keys to making sure that you're one of those people that does achieve their goals and not one of the people who sets goals and always comes up short, right? So one of the key things you must um, you must be aware of and you must apply when it comes to setting goals and achieving them is understanding the importance of focus. And when I say focus, I mean laser beam focus. If you really want to achieve a goal, it has to become your number one priority. You know what I mean? It has to become when you wake up every single day, it has to be one of the main things that you are focused on in the day. It can't be um, like a afterthought or in the back of your mind or I'll get to that. It can't be that. It has to be a priority, right? So if there's something you really want, something you really want to achieve, you have to make it a priority. And what happens when you do that is now you're really responsible. Now you really have to step up. That's why people don't really want to do that. People don't really want to make it too much of a priority. They don't want to be accountable. They don't want to shout it out loud or maybe put their money where their mouth is, because if it's really something that you really want, chances are it's not going to be easy to achieve it. Chances are there's some things you're going to have to do that you don't necessarily want to do. But if you really want to achieve that goal, you have to lock in and get laser beam focused on that goal. And once you're laser beam focused on that goal, the second key thing that you must do if you really want to achieve your goals, and this is one of the things that people who don't achieve their goals, they don't do this. And the second thing is you're laser beam focused, but you need to have a plan of action towards achieving your goal. You don't want to just be focused on your goal and think about it and visualize it and believe in it, but then you don't really have any plan of action, right? You want to at least have an idea of some actions you can take. A lot of times your plan it's not going to go as planned, right? So I'm not saying that you need a plan and the plan has to be perfect. And no, what I'm saying is if you have a goal, there are some specific actions that you need to take, and that's what I'm talking about. Those actions, right? When you focus on a goal and you put a plan together and you start taking action, what's going to happen is you're going to take action, and you're just by focusing on your goal, you're gonna figure out what actions you really need to be taking consistently, which actions you need to get rid of, which actions you need to maybe change, alter, what you need to add to your plan. You know what I mean? You start with an initial plan, but as you move towards your goal, that plan will change. It will change certain things. Your awareness will come up. You'll start to notice different things. You'll gain more knowledge. You'll get different references, new experiences, meet new people, and that plan will change. But you have to start off with some kind of a plan, some kind of an idea. Like if your goal is to make money, make more money, you in your mind already know specific things you can do to make more money, right? Maybe work overtime at your job, or maybe start a side business, or maybe you have a friend that's doing maybe doing a project, and maybe you can get involved with that. Like there are things that you can do, but once you start doing these things, life will happen, right? And things will change, and you'll figure out as you're moving towards your goal what to change and what to do. But you need to start off with first laser beam focus on your goal, whatever that goal is, and then second, having a plan of action, right? And actually executing on that plan, like actually taking daily action, not when you feel like it, not sometimes, not once a week, every single day, right? If you really want to achieve your goal, right? The people who don't achieve their goals, they have no plan. They don't take action. They don't know what to do. They just kind of wait around, you know what I mean, and hope something happens. And you can't do that. You actually have to take responsibility for what you want in life, and you actually have to take action and let life correct you. Life will correct you, right? If you're moving in the wrong direction, life will let you know. It will show you you're moving in the right direction or the wrong direction based on what happens, right? So if you're experiencing, if life is sort of like pushing against you when you're taking action, then you want to pay attention and see, is there a better way I can go about this? Don't say that too quickly though, right? Because there's always going to be some resistance in the beginning if you're taking new actions that you haven't done before. But if you've been doing it for a while and you're noticing nothing's changing, look at what you're doing and say, okay, how can I do this better? Or who is somebody I can contact that does doing something similar and is having success? Maybe he can look at what I'm doing and or maybe I could reverse engineer what he's doing. You know what I mean? So, laser beam focus, having a plan of action. The next thing is having the ability to do things when you don't feel like doing it, right? That is very important when it comes to achieving your goals. It's, what I found is when you're going after a goal, something you haven't achieved before, it's very likely you're gonna have to do things that you are uncomfortable with doing, or you haven't done before, or maybe you just don't like doing, right? But you have to do those things, and what happens is if you do those things, what will happen is you'll either find a way to do it in a way where it's not as uncomfortable or not as difficult, or maybe you'll just expand your comfort zone to where it's not as difficult, or you can outsource, delegate it, find somebody. If there's certain things you have to do in order to achieve your goal, but you don't want to do it, and there's a way you can outsource it or delegate it to someone else, then go ahead and do that. I ideally in the beginning you want to do it yourself, so you know what you're doing and you have the understanding, so that you can tell someone how to do it properly. You don't want to just tell someone, hey, go and do this, and you know nothing about it, and then they're doing it and they're doing it incorrectly. You want to do it yourself first, figure out how to do it properly, and then once you figure it out, you can delegate. You don't have to do it anymore. All right. So that's the next one, and you have to just, if you really want to achieve a goal, you have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be willing to step out your comfort zone. You have to be willing to, step into the unknown. And you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded if you stick to the path and you step up, you face your fears, you know that you're going to make some mistakes. Know that you're not going to it's not like you're going to just smash through every obstacle easily. You're going to have some setbacks. You're going to have little things that are going to try to stop you. But the key is to continue moving forward no matter what, right? You're going to have days where you're not going to want to do anything, and still push through those days. Still try to do what you can. Maybe, for example, let's say we're talking about picking up women. Like, let's say you set a goal for yourself. You know what I'm going to approach? I'm going to approach and ask 3 women on a date every day, right? You're going to have days where you're not going to want to talk to anybody. You're going to have those days where you're not going to want to approach a woman, right? And on those days, just because you don't want to do it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. You have to remember your goal. What was your goal? You know what I mean? What was your commitment? Are you a man of your word? Does your word mean anything when you say something? Like, are you telling me you make a goal, you say something, and then as soon as your emotions change, it doesn't matter anymore? That's an average thing to do. That's what most people do. You know what I mean? And that's why most people are settling. Most people have a mediocre life. Most people are not living the life they want, because as soon as they don't feel like doing something, they don't do it. And then whatever momentum they have ceases to exist, and they just go back to square one, right? You don't want that to happen. You want the momentum to kick in. You want to keep moving forward. You want to push. And Like I said, if you keep doing it, you will get to a point where your comfort zone will expand, and those things that you don't like doing or you're uncomfortable doing, they will start to become less of a big deal, right? Like me, when I just started going out and approaching women and talking to women, it was definitely outside of my comfort zone, and I found myself, not having days where I just didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? I still have those days, but now, because I've put the work in, because I have expanded my comfort zone, it doesn't take as much energy to get myself to push through the resistance. I can get myself to do something even when I don't want to do it because I have so many references of doing that, right? But you have to build that up. It's like a muscle, willpower. If you want to call it willpower, you want to call it discipline, you have to build that up. It's a muscle. All right. So that's a key one. Another one I would say is enthusiasm. Like you have to put energy into your goal. Like put energy into your actions. You know what I mean? Like the best way to be enthusiastic I've found is to really just get optimistic. Like really believe that you can achieve your goal. Like really believe it. And the best way to do that is just visualize yourself at the end result. Visualize yourself already have achieved your goal. Like how will you feel? How happy will you be? How fulfilled, how proud will you be when you achieve your goal? Get into that state of mind now and start taking actions with that energy, with that kind of energy, and it will help you to the way I would put it is you're putting out positive vibrations out into the universe. You know what I mean? You're putting out a positive vibe, and you're going to start attracting positivity. You're going to start attracting these things that you need to achieve your goal, right? And it's a process. It takes time. Now, it's not like you start feeling good and you start visualizing your goal and then all of a sudden everything comes to you right away. It's going to take some time. But if you do it, you will notice things starting to show up, things starting to show up in your life that can help you achieve your goal. And it will show up in different ways. It's not going to go exactly how you expect. All right. And I guess the last one I would say that I noticed is basically you want to have a goal. When you make a goal, you want to make sure it's a goal that you're passionate about, right? A goal that you are willing to suffer for. And when I say suffer, I mean a goal that you are willing to you're willing to sacrifice pleasure, right? Because when you're going after a goal, a lot of times you have to sort of get out of this idea because a lot of people, I don't know if they're aware of it, maybe they are or not, but a lot of people, their focus in life is seeking pleasure, right? So if something is not pleasurable, they don't want to do it, or don't want to go in that direction. But what I notice, if you want to achieve a goal, something that is outside of your reality currently, you can't go towards pleasure, right? Pleasure will come, when it's time for pleasure to come, but you have to go towards purpose. You have to ask yourself whenever you're taking an action, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's weird, even if it can be embarrassing, even if you have to face rejection, ask yourself, what is the purpose, right? What is my purpose? What is my goal? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Don't focus on the emotion, right? Because if you're gonna do something and you don't feel like doing it, what happens? A negative emotion comes up. An emotion comes up that's trying to prevent you from moving forward. You don't want to pay attention to that emotion. You want to think about this situation logically. What is my purpose? What is the right thing to do here? What is the right move? What is the right action, right? And if you're not really passionate about what you're doing, if you're not really committed like that, if the emotion you know, the emotion can cloud your thinking, right? That's why a lot of times when we're faced with a decision, you know, it's easy for us to put off the decision or make the wrong decision. But then later when we look at it, we're like, damn, why did I do that? You know, damn, I should have did this, or I should have did it this way, or should have did that. Because that emotion has left you, and now you can think clearly. You know, you're able to think clearly after the situation, and then you think about it, you're like, damn, I should have did this. A lot of the perfect example is when you see a woman you find attractive. If you don't approach her in the moment, it feels good, like you'll find a reason to justify it. You know, she was busy, or oh, she probably is married, or oh, this and that, this and that. But then later on you think about it and you're like, damn, I should have just said hi, man. Damn, I should have just you know, walked up to her and found out if she was married. You know what I mean? Because you start thinking about it logically later. So those are the main reasons why people are successful, the ones I mentioned. And then the reason people are not successful, because they do the opposite, right? So laser beam focus. The people who are successful are laser beam focused. People who are not successful are not focused. They are distracted. They're all over the place. They have a ton of different goals. They're not committed to any of them, right? The people that are successful have an action plan, a plan of action, steps that they are going to take towards achieving their goal. People who don't achieve their goal tend to not really have an action plan. They tend to just wing it. They tend to just wait for shit to happen, hope shit happens, you know what I mean? And that's why they don't achieve their goals. People who are successful at achieving their goals, they're able to do what they need to do even when they don't feel like doing it, right? They have discipline, they have willpower, they are able to muster up the courage and energy necessary to take actions when they're not necessarily in the mood to do it. The people who don't succeed are the ones who they don't want to do shit if they don't feel like doing something, they don't want to do it, and they're not going to do it, right? They'll make an excuse. They'll find a reason not to do it. The people who are successful are enthusiastic. They actually are in good spirits. They're positive. They believe in themselves. They believe in their goal. They believe things can happen, and they go after it with that energy. People who do not achieve their goals, they doubt themselves. They are pessimistic, negative, always looking for a reason why it can't work, right? And people who are successful achieving their goals are passionate and committed to their goal, right? They are willing to sacrifice pleasure, sacrifice free time, whatever it is, because they're passionate about their goal and they're committed. Whereas people who are not passionate and who are not committed to their goal, right? They basically, it's like they just have a wish, right? It's not even a goal, it's just a wish, it's just a dream. You know what I mean? So I hope this video was helpful. I hope these tips are helpful, and I hope if you're going after a goal right now, look at these. Like, ask yourself, am I laser beam focused? Do I have a plan of action? Am I enthusiastic? If you're not, then start doing these things, right? You'll notice a difference, but it has to be consistent. It can't just be a one-day thing. You can't apply one of these keys or these principles for one day and then expect success. You have to keep applying it every day. All right, thanks for watching this video. Peace.